I just got up from a freaking nap, so give me a little bit of grace before you dogpile on me because it's freaking tough out here in a small rural corn corn patch of a town. I'm sure it's rough everywhere, but in rural areas it's a little more tougher. But I prefer it anyway. I have questions within reason because I'm starting to organize this channel a little bit more. Yeah, I get silly sometimes, and there's shit I fucking get wrong. But I'll be very, very blunt. It's surprising how some people we are moving into a world that would make the 1950s and a lot of other countries look like outside figures very, very bluntly that we are moving into a security posture that would make certain security uh, dictatorship states like Stalin's Soviet Union, North Korea, pick your pick, tin pot dictatorships, and look at them through the lens of making them all blush and what because it seems like in my idiotic mind that we are moving into something that would make these guys blush because I'm noticing that when our would be Orange King would turn around and go to all these different people, it seems like he's picking up, taking notes, and doing something that would be on the level of North Korea, Russia, and China combined all into one. My point is this: they're slashing programs, they're doing things that normally, even in a time of war, would help the country. I mean, domestic programs. This is the same guy that literally stated that he does not give a flying f about Americans or American financial situation. And if I can find that clip, I will try to show it. But it really pains me that I helped propel this guy into the White House because now a lot of a little more cause, let's just say, has happened, and it's uh, and he's not acting in the best interest of the country. He's only acting in the best interest of himself, and it really bothers me as a American that it seems like we have lost our way as a American society, and we've lost our moral compass. When we elect someone that is so morally effing bankrupt that some of the tin pot dictators around the world look at us and blush and like, really? You really want to put him in there? Because this is the same guy at the word go and the word high and flattery would get anything these guys would want, like, gee, Putin, um, Kim Jong Un, take your pick. And it just really burns my bacon because it just seems to me that I'm not writing off American society. It just makes me sad that the country that I grew up in and the country and where it's heading, it makes me want to just almost cry, but laugh at the same breath because if I cry, at least in my upbringing, it's not worth my time in that matter of speaking. It just the world which I grew up in is long gone, long dead, etc. So if you guys have any questions for me after I rant a little bit ill, thank you so much. It just really makes me upset. So if you would love to, if you like what I do, like, share, subscribe. Help me try to get over that 500 mark, so that way I can um, start to access certain benefits within the YouTube thing, and it helped me out in the algorithm because it's extremely tough right now. Because trying to break through the censorship in the algorithms, like trying to hit a wall that nobody wants, if you catch my drift. Now, certain people, now, if you look around the world, we're slowly collapsing the global order. Now, I had a, 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 a man from China explain a certain strategy of Trump's that I didn't quite think of. Think of all the foreign entanglements that we're in right now. And that's just a but turn around and think, what if the idea is not to win unwinnable war or conflict, but to global chessboard and realign it for certain power structures? That's what it seems like it's happening. That he's actually setting us up to lose, but in the same breath, setting us up to win. Look at the countries that are limited upon the oil of the Middle East versus us. Hi, how are you? If I don't get to you directly, just know that I see you, and it just and I'll do my best to answer you at the end. It just really amazes me how society has made up its mind collectively, and it it has the ghost of Carter, the Carter administration haunting the White House. But the only difference between then and now is it's a Republican versus a Democrat. Because if you look at the conditions and all the different things that have lined up to this very moment, the conditions are similar to Carter, and there will be a radium revolution, in my humble opinion, but in reverse. Now, you can look at me and say I'm full of shit, because we all are full of shit to a certain degree. But if you look around, the conditions are set up for Trump to actually lose and for us to hang up our global policeman badge and focus on our own backyard. It's a strange paradox to witness, but if you look around, that's the ultimate truth of the matter. We're slowly hanging up our global policeman badge and ending it off to either China or Russia. So it's kind of a strange paradox watch, and they are also carving out their spheres of influence, and we're carving out our own to a certain degree. Box of rocks. That part I'll give them, but I've noticed there's two wings of a stupid, ugly bird that have turned this government, this very government that I was brainwashed into fucking believing that it was worth my time to invest my heart, soul, and energy into. But I noticed that it's the same nasty piece of candy, but just in a different wrapper. It just really bothers me as a man that I bought the crap hook, line, and sinker. That it just makes me wonder, were we ever truly free, or was it just the illusion that we've had for the last 70, 80 years, and under the FDR administration, he was fixing to break the British Empire, but his body had given out before, but his mind was the last thing to go. Now, I may look like I'm just talking out of my butt here, but the last 70, 80, even 90 years since the end of the Second World War, we have slowly lost our way as a society. Even under Reagan, when he tried to do the welfare queens and all that junk, I remember the funny money and all that crap. It just really bothers the crap out of the last 40, 50 years of my life. I've seen this world shift in ways that would make grown and wonder. Now, Gen X and the boomers, etc., you know how to say, oh, just keep working, just keep working, just keep working, etc. You'll do fine. Well, my generation, the millennials, the not quite a millennial, but not quite a Gen Xer, they, my generation remembers a world that was analog, that can put down effing phones and play and be and don't be home before the street lights are on, but have a foot in the digital world and be fluent enough to mess with these phones. And from what I understand of these phones, it's a enough price points that it would, if you were to mass together Mexico, United States, and Canada into one block to try to have one phone, it would be enough, in my humble opinion, that you couldn't even pull off one phone between the three countries. Because the way I understand the supply chain, it may take $10 to make, but you're doing a long term dance just to get the supply chain ready. From what I understand of it, and it just really makes me wonder if we'll ever have that same type of level of quality that we once had with the Chinese and the South Asian countries. So if you like what I do, like, share, subscribe.